Hello, I'm Stefani Goldamer, and I'm a student at Azusa Pacific University who will soon be graduating with my master's in education, teaching, and learning technology. However, my journey here did not come easily. I did not plan to get my teaching credential after college graduation. Both of my parents were in education, my mom a high school teacher, and my dad the director of special ed. I worked in his special ed office during breaks from college and enjoyed working in an office. However, after graduation, I planned to enter the medical field in a year or two maximum. I needed a break from graduating from UC Santa Cruz with my degree in molecular cellular developmental biology. I needed time to send out applications to medical school. Once I graduated, I moved back home to Hemet in order to do this. I saw how a special ed office functioned and how important it was to keep students happy. Here, I desperately wanted to help students. I wanted to make a meaningful difference in children's lives. I was a special needs aide for a year. I had built up a reputation as a hard-working substitute for Hemet Unified School District. I had also built up a reputation as an effective teacher. I put my long-term goals of entering the medical field on hold. I started working full-time at a high school, teaching CASI prep classes. Students were pulled from an elective class and given intensive CASI review for 3 to 4 weeks. I became the CASI coordinator and taught the CASI prep math classes. I earned as much as a first-year teacher and sometimes more due to the extra hours and extra pay I got. I set aside medical school. I set aside all other career options other than teaching. Due to budget cuts, the CASI grant was not renewed for the 2009-2010 school year, and I was out of a job. The assistant principal I worked with was an adjunct instructor at Azusa Pacific Marietta. He told me about the single subject program. I quickly enrolled at APU Marietta and intended to only get the credential in the beginning. It was later I decided to go and get my master's as well as my single subject credential. In 2009-2010, I was a contracted science teacher at a middle school in a lower income area. Being in the APU program allowed me to work as an intern and under contract. I had high recommendation letters from various principals. As long as I was enrolled in a credential program, I was able to have a contract. I taught 7th grade life science, 8th grade physical science, and 8th grade U.S. history. My contract was not renewed due to budget cuts, and I found myself on the substitute list once again. However, it was here that I found my true calling in life, and it was to be a teacher. Teaching became natural to me. When I began my single subject credential program in 2009, I was very naive as to how difficult and time-consuming the program would be. I enrolled in the fall of 2009 and expected to be finished with a credential in a year. I was wrong. The budget crisis soon went into effect, and I saw many teachers, including myself, getting laid off. It was a lot of hard work to get this far, but it only makes getting my master's degree and my credential even more special. I decided to continue my education and enroll in the master's degree combined program. I enjoyed learning and being a student at APU. I figured the master's degree would give me the tools I needed to be a better teacher, and it would give me something I could be proud of to hang on the wall. It also would help me move up on the pay scale. I am so thankful God led me on my journey to complete my master's at Azusa Pacific. God has worked many miracles in my life, and I rely on Him today more than ever. Through my life experiences, it's imperative for me to have a connection with God in order to sustain my happy and healthy lifestyle. A few years back, I became disconnected with God and was unhappy, impatient, and discontent with my life. Once I turned to God and asked for help, I was able to hand everything over to Him. I know now that God will take care of me and has a path for me. Through the process of reasoning, I ask that His will be done and not my own. I no longer stress over things that are out of my control. I can only control my own behavior and nobody else's. I am very blessed to have this kind of connection with God today. My spirituality allows me to be a compassionate individual, and this carries over into the classroom. My students know I will go above and beyond to help them succeed. I genuinely care about all of my students and want them to not only succeed in my class, but in life as well. By keeping a journal, I was able to see exactly how much sugar I was eating in a single day. I took a step back and started making healthier eating choices. I started eating more fruit and less candy and cake. I laid off the Starbucks Frappuccinos and started making my own coffee at home. I began riding my bike more often than driving. Overall, I had successful results. I feel better mentally and physically. I don't crave sugar as much. I am more fit and active and no longer have such an extensive sweet tooth. I chose to do my portfolio on the skeletal and muscular systems because I enjoy teaching these chapters the most. Students will learn the functions of and how the skeletal and muscular systems work. Also, this unit includes dissecting an earthworm and dissecting a cow heart. I found that students love dissecting things, especially the cow heart. The look on their faces was priceless. It was here that I knew my path in life was to be a science teacher. It brings me so much joy to see students excited and actually learning hands-on. It is my hope that other students will have the same wonderful experience I had attaining my master's degree at Azusa Pacific University. Thanks, Azusa.